All right, so I did say I'd keep you guys updated on what we talked about. So the discussion tonight was about the homelessness problem. Um, Over 650,000 people are homeless in the state of Wisconsin. Now, I want to start by saying the real issue here, we all know, is the banks and the major private companies that are buying up properties and using it as investments. I understand you want to protect your investment, but a lot of these places do not rent to felons. They don't rent to people that have bad credit, and they definitely are suggestive, to say the least, on who they want in their communities. This was one of the discussions that we discussed. While I'm not going to go into anybody's personal opinion, I do want to state that there's people out here that really do think that people don't deserve help. They feel like, pull your own stuff up by your own bootstraps, or maybe they don't understand how easy it is to become homeless. I mean, these are real issues. There's people out on the street right now in freezing cold conditions. There's people dying on the streets. And yes, they have mental issues and drug addictions, but that does not make them less of a human. Okay? And the fact that people would rather just watch them suffer and die in the streets is just unhumane. And we need to get rid of that kind of ideology, because it's very easy to become homeless. And you are one paycheck away from being that person on the street. And then once you get there, who's to say that you wouldn't pick up a drug to release your tension of being homeless? Or pick up a bottle? You're telling me if you got kicked out on the street, you wouldn't want to drink? Yeah. Keep it 100. Anyways, here's the approaches that they have come up with collectively, or we as a community have come up with collectively. Approach one is prioritizing providing stable long-term housing and basic needs such as food, clothing, and other immediate needs to people experiencing homelessness. The first approach is prioritizing housing and basic needs, basically. Primary drawback: without targeted interventions to tackle underlying issues such as mental illness and drug addiction, individuals may find themselves in a cycle of dependency, which is definitely true. I'm not against the idea. Obviously, this needs to happen, but there's several ways that we could go about it, like restrictive residential zoning. I don't know about that, but I do think that restricting these banks and restricting how long they can have a brand new house sitting empty while we have homeless people on the street is ridiculous. There's millions of empty homes, but the people that need them can't get in there because they have credit or background issues, or they just simply don't have the money. So let's make it more restrictive on the banks to sit there with all this property and not let anybody in because of their background and credit. You're going to have to loosen up the reins, period. We could experiment with a publicly funded monthly stipend. Basic income, I like the idea. I also think that it needs to be highly regulated as far as on a debit card, which can't be getting cash out, to avoid, people misusing it for inappropriate things. Increase search and navigation assistance, such as rapid housing to assist people looking for rental housing in the private market. Again, I think that's getting away from the main topic. Increase eviction prevention. Now, I was against this because and landlords have investments, they need to make the money off of it. So you can't say that they can't evict people, but we also need to have programs in place to help people not become homeless. But there also needs to be accountability for the people that are using these programs and not misusing the program, as far as going through with mental health services and drug and alcohol rehabilitation. I'm not saying that we can just kick people off because they piss dirty, but if they can continue to use hardcore drugs while they're on the program, they don't want the help. So it's not, your problem at that point. Approach 2, invest in rehabilitation. I mean, yes and no. There's plenty of people that are homeless that have mental problems and have drug addictions. And of course, it does need to be addressed, but I think that it needs to be part of the program and not a main, it doesn't need to be on the main topic right now. I think getting people off the street first and then getting them into programs would probably be the right steps. They go on to say establishing mentorship programs. I think that would also be a really positive thing. I also think that the people that are in these industries need to be people that have experienced homelessness, that have experienced the streets. If you haven't experienced that, then you have no idea what the fuck anybody's talking about. So who cares about your opinion? If you have a college degree in psychology, that doesn't make you the right person to be helping these homeless people. Approach 3, which was a big no for me, but I'm still going to share it because I want to share all the opinions. Well, not personal opinions, but I want to share the general aspect of what we were discussing. Encourage accountability and opportunity. This is the old pick your own self up by your bootstraps. To approach, encourage people to experience homelessness, to seek opportunity to improve their situation. Trying to teach people how to be budgeting and teach people education so they can get better jobs, all these kinds of things. It says protect public places. This was a discussion that I got kind of passionate about because they're talking about making it illegal to piss in public. I feel like that's making it illegal to exist. Every human has to urinate. And while I don't agree with going to urinate right in front of the children's school or right on the public sidewalk, urinating on a tree in the park should not be illegal because it's human nature to urinate. This is making being human illegal. I don't agree. Expand police officer training, another thing I don't agree with. Police should not be involved with the homelessness situation. If there's a threat, okay. But, and as far as outreach and trying to help people, the police shouldn't be the ones that are out there helping people. Maybe send a police officer with them to make sure that the workers are safe. Because these are dangerous environments and dangerous people, I agree. But if you're trying to help them, don't send somebody that's meant to protect and not help. Because let's face it, the police are there and they have guns for a reason. They're there to protect, not help you. They're there to protect the Constitution, to be honest with you, not protect the people. But that's a whole nother subject. They want to expand transportation. I think that this is an awesome idea. Probably one of the only ideas I actually agreed with. Expanding the local transportation. We don't have transportation to the retail. We don't have transportation to industrial right now. It's not like the major cities out here in northern Wisconsin. We have one little bus system that goes downtown to take you to court. That is the only place it goes. It's almost completely useless. Without going out to the retail, you can't get any retail jobs, and all of the retail is out in another town. All of the industrial jobs are in another town. So we end up taking these little side hustle jobs that never get us enough money to be able to get housed. Promote free financial literacy. Again, really out of touch, guys. Obviously, financial literacy is definitely important, but for the people that you're talking about, this goes back to people not having any experience on the street because they don't know what they're talking about. You want to teach financial literacy to the guy that just dug food out of the trash can? You're an idiot. He needs mental help and a house, and we have millions of them empty. Incentivize and encourage employers to hire unstaffed people. Again, with the out of touch. Being homeless means you're stinky, you don't have the right clothes, and you are not being able to shower. And where are you going to sleep to even want to work? So those are my thoughts. I'm going to give you this short 10-minute video. You're welcome to voice your opinion. Again, this was just one of the many times that I'll be engaging with my community to try to make my place better. That's all I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to make the world a better place. And I will just keep trying.